everyone, this is Irina Blount from La La Land Crafts. Today is day 4 of our 24 days of Christmas tutorials. I am starting our YouTube channel with day 1 through 12, and then our design team is going to join in on our blog from day 13 to 24. We are having a giveaway. We're giving away 3 $50 gift certificates to our online store. To enter into the giveaway, we ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are not yet a subscriber, and comment on all of the videos during this event from day 1 to 12 on the video tutorials, and then comment on the blog posts from our design team for the remainder of the event. And we're going to pick the winners randomly from the comments, so the more you comment, the more chances to win you have. And we're going to announce the winners on December 25th, so for 3 of you it's going to be a nice Christmas present. And also we have the 20% off for all of the La La Land Crafts products in our online store at lalalandcrafts.com. Your promo code is ADWIN2022. Today we are back to making cards and back to making a diorama cards. So this is another card in our series that we're going to make today. It looks a little complicated, but I'll show you how to make it. It's actually pretty easy and simple. Wanted to remind you that if you missed the tutorials from day 1, I just wanted to show you the projects really quick. So this was our day 1 tutorial. This was our day 2 tutorial, and this was our day 3 tutorial from yesterday. So this is kind of big box that I don't even have enough space, doesn't seem like it here to show you, but it's a big box, and it's a gift box, and it's an explosion box like that. So that was tutorial from yesterday. So if you missed the tutorials, some of this or all of these tutorials, the link to all of them is in the video description below. And now let's go ahead and start with this card. I can't wait to show you how to make it. I have most of the die cutting done. I have almost all of the cutting done. We're going to do a lot of the work or play time together because I want to show you how I did it. I'm going to start with scoring. My card base, or the front of the card base, measures 9.5 by 4.5, and I scored it at 2 inches right here. Then the 2 of our diorama layers, the larger one measures 6.5 by 4 3/4, and I scored it at 1/2 inch and then 1 inch. Then I turned it and scored it again at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Remember, all of the measurements are in the video description, the scoring and cutting guide there for you, so you don't need to write it down as we go. Then 6.5 by 3 3/4 layer, I scored it at 1 inch on each side right here. And I already did the scoring on this white layer that is inside of the card. This is 7 by 4, and I ran and did my 1/8 of an inch frame all the way around, so that's already done with the scoring. Now we are going to die cut. For this card, I will be using our Snowflakes die, and it comes as a set of 2. These are the 2 dies that are included in the set. On the back flap of the card, on this long layer that was scored at 2 inches, it doesn't matter, you can use either or die, it doesn't matter which one. So we're just going to position it and run it through. This will just give us decorative end like this, so when we fold it, it looks pretty there. Now that was the easy part. Now we are going to start die cutting our bigger layers, and we are going to start with the white layer first. I'm going to use this shape on the larger piece, so I'm going to position it and center it as much as I can, and use the removable tape to hold it in place. Now these dies are pretty long, but they're still not long enough to cut the whole layer. So right here where it ends, I'm just going to snip this off to continue with the shape of the heel, and we can save these pieces for later. Now I'm going to grab the red layer that goes with this, and this one measures 4 1/4 by 4 1/2. I'm going to put it at 4 1/4 wide, so it's a rectangle. I'm going to put it vertically. You'll see that it fits between your score line in the middle right here, and I'm going to pull it up, just have it the same distance on the sides and on the bottom. Once I have it here, I'm going to take the same die that we used, and I'm going to do my best to line it up to the way we cut on the white layer. Now I can remove the white layer, and I cut this. And again, we can save this for later. Now I'm going to get the paper, and this paper is from one of the new paper packs. It's from Very Merry, and this is the one I'm using right here with the pretty gold snowflakes and red polka dots. And here is a little bit trickier because it's kind of hard to see where the die is, but we're going to do our best to line it up. And I'm lining it up to the stitching right here. So again, I'm going to position my paper so it's the same on the sides and on the bottom, and then do my best to line up. I can kind of see where the heel is picking up there, so I'm going to do my best to line it up to that, and I can see the stitching on this outside. So just do your best. And then I'm going to pull the red cardstock out, and I cut this. All 3 of my layers now are matching. So pretty. So this goes to the side, and on my, this can be saved, and on my shorter layer I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to use the second die from the set. So we use this one, I'm going to use the other one. And again, I'm going to die cut from the white cardstock first, and then line up all of my layers just exactly the same way as I did on the first one. Now these 3 layers are done. Look how cute that is. So everything lines up pretty much perfect there. The next thing on this layer, on the smaller one, we are going to cut out our window to make our diorama card. I'm kind of obsessed. I mean, this is the 3rd diorama card in this series. It's like can't stop, won't stop, right? So for the opening, I'm going to use our Under the Sea die, and I love this die for anything under the sea, for the sea related and summer related cards, but I also absolutely love using it for Christmas because it looks like snowflakes, and I've been wanting to do this one with the cave. I'm going to be using the smallest shape from this die, this one right here. So the smallest shape, and I'm going to position it first. Now we're going to start with our snowflakes layer, and I'm going to position it so these openings right there that you can see, they're at like 10 o'clock or around 10 o'clock. I'm going to use removable tape again and hold it in place, and then kind of center it right and left. Do your best there and run it through. Now, just like we did yesterday, we are going to use our first layer as a template for all of our other layers. So I removed the inside piece and I'm adding this layer onto the red cardstock, and I am centering it just like this. This one is cut. And I'm going to grab our base layer and center. No, I'm going to actually, since there are more layers here, I'm going to take the die off of the snowflakes and inset it the same way it was cut. So I'm just going to put it into my red layer, just line it up. And it's pretty easy to line up because we have this opening, so it just sets, you'll feel where it sets right back into the die. And now we can position this right in the center, right there, and cut that. So these are done. Now we're going to create the frame to go around our opening. And for this, I'm going to use the larger die, the second in from the smaller, and we're going to cut it from white cardstock. You can cut this shape first and then die cut the opening from it, or you can cut them together at the same time. So the two openings are on my left, and then my two openings on the smaller shape are like at 2 o'clock, I guess. So just for your easy reference, or you can always die cut one and then cut another one out of it. Not using this can be used for something else, for a different card, but we are using the frame. Cute. Okay, so this is done, and I think I did all of my other die cutting already, so I can go ahead and put this away. Now we can glue these layers together. We're going to glue acetate behind our opening, so this measures 3 3/4 by 3 1/4, and I'm going to add it from the back right here. That done, we can go ahead and fold here on the flaps. Got my tape a little bit too far out, but that's gonna be okay. So that's done here for now, and then we can glue these layers together. And both of these papers and the other paper that we're gonna use are from the same, from Very paper pack. So the polka dots are this paper, I think I mentioned that already, and then the gold snowflakes are this paper right here, and then the blue snowflakes are from this paper. Now let's fold on the sides here, and we're folding both of them in. So this is basically how it's gonna go. Fun. Okay, I'm getting excited as we go. I wanted to show you how to cut this paper. So I have it not cut yet because there is a bit of a trick to it that I want to share with you. This paper from the paper pack measures 6 by 6, and we need it for the layer, we need it at 4 inches. So we're going to cut it first at 4. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to cut off 1 1/2. So I'm just going to pull it. I have it at 4 1/2 measurement here, so it's going to cut off at 1 1/2. So these 2 layers are going to be on the back layer of the card, and then with this smaller one we're going to cut this one, the one that's left over, at 3 3/4, and this one will be behind our opening, behind our window. Let's bring our front of the card base that we already die cut, and I have the back of the card that measures 4.5 by 7.5, and we're going to touch it this way. But before we touch it, this is actually, we're going to work on this layer first. I have 2 layers of red cardstock, and these are 7.25 by 4.25, and I'm going to glue one on each side, and then on the inside of the card we're going to add this layer that I already did the 1/8 of an inch embossing, and this is 4 by 7, so I can go ahead and glue this together, and on one side, and then on the other side I'm going to glue my second piece of the red cardstock plus this layer of the same snowflakes that we're using on the front, and I'm just going to glue it to the bottom like so. One tip I would like to mention, I get questions sometimes how I make sure my layers are nice and straight. When I put adhesive on, I kind of hold it, so I'm holding it kind of this way, right? So the one side is down and the other side is up, and if I align it on 3 sides, on the sides and on the top even, and then I can lay down, and it should work. If they were cut straight, they should work just like that. That should attach the just nicely and even. Disregard this. This is this is kind of take 2. It was a little bit of the boo-boo the way I glued it. So our card base, we're going to align this layer right into the fold. So I have my card base open with the fold up, and then we're going to position them together, and you can use either double-sided tape here or liquid adhesive, doesn't matter. So we're going to put glue on and then close this down, and just nice finished back of the card. So this is our card here. Now on the front we have our third red layer, and we have our snowflake paper that we cut apart. So the larger piece is going to be on the top of the red, and the smaller one on the bottom right here. We are actually not going to attach it to the card just yet, but we can prep it. We are going to grab our front layers, and we're going to add these blue snowflakes that we die cut on the bottom of the bigger layer, and we're going to center it right and left. Next thing I have from our cave die, I die cut already, and I used the second largest layer from here. And again, this die was designed for Halloween, but I love using it for winter and Christmas because it has like this, can be icicles, so really pretty. So I die cut it just from the white cardstock. We are not using the center, but it can be used for anything. Look how cute that looks. You can use it, definitely make cards with it, so save that for later. But I'm going to use the actual icicles, so I'm going to cut them out first. So just cut them apart, the parts with the icicles, and I'm going to see how I like them inside of my card. So I want one layer to be, oh, that's pretty. I like that. That's going to be pretty. Okay, so the one with the curve right here, I'm going to glue behind So it shows behind my acetate, so it shows inside of our window. Look how pretty it is. We're building a cave for our bears. Can always position this one here and see how it's gonna look like. And by the way, all of the 3 bears that we're gonna use on this card are from the Silent Night clear stamp set, and this is the same bear that I used on the card for day 1. So see here, I had it colored as a brown bear, and the ones that we are using on this card today, they are colored like polar bears. So we can keep him here for reference, how he's gonna be in the cave there. And then we can see how to arrange our next layer. That's pretty. That's really cool right there. Okay, so now on our largest layer, the taller one, we are going to add the tape on the outside flaps, just right here in the middle. And then on our shorter layer, on our front one, I already added the tape. So this is 1-inch flap. You're going to add the tape on both sides, closer to the outside, like this. Now we're going to attach the taller layer first to our card base, and it's going to be right on the front of it. So I'm going to remove just a little bit of the back in here, and then line up this layer to the bottom of the card and to the side. So flash on the bottom and flash on the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and we can burnish here. And then we're going to, you can simply fold everything to the other side, and this should match up with your other side here. But just for the insurance, let's remove the back end just a tiny bit and line this up here, and then pull it out. So that gave us our little box kind of shape. And at this point, we can put this layer on the inside. And then we're going to add our layer with the opening over it. So we're going to, again, fold everything to the right side first and remove part of the back end of the tape. And we're going to line it up right to the bottom of this layer and to the side of it. So line everything just like this and to remove the tape. And now we can fold everything to the left side, and this should line up with your right side now. So we can, again, if you want to kind of just double check yourself and in case anything needs to be moved or adjusted, but it should line up perfectly. So look at this. We created another diorama card, and now all we have left is to embellish it. So much fun. I am so addicted to this. Okay, so we have our bear who is going to be laying right there in front, and then we have our 2 bears, and I'm going to position them so they're kind of like on the hill, sitting there on the hill. And I can go ahead and glue all of them already. If you want this card to fold like flat, don't use the foam tape, because it's not gonna be really flat, right, when you fold it, because now you can fold it pretty much flat when you ship it or when you mail it, and by adding tape it's not gonna be so flat. Maybe I won't add tape to this, because then this layer won't fold. So I'm just gonna glue these 2 bears on. Before I glue them on, let's position other things and see how everything fits on our card actually. So I have the moon here, and this was die cut with our newer crescent moon die. So it comes with the moon, the cloud and the head for the moon and all of other stars and things. And this is the detail on the moon, really pretty, kind of vintagey looking. I'm not using the head on this card here, but I'm using the cloud with it as well. So I'm going to cut the cloud about in half, and I'm going to use one half of it right here on the top, and the other half kind of covering the moon a little bit here on this side. And then I die cut some Christmas trees, and these are from our snow globe die. I actually have used this die in a lot of tutorials from my 12 days of tutorials last year. So if you are interested to see if you missed it, you can go on our YouTube channel. Well, you are already watching this on our YouTube channel, but click on videos and then click on playlists actually, and look for the 24 days of tutorial from last year, and you'll find quite a few tutorials on how to use this die. I die cut 2 taller ones from the polka dot paper and the 2 smaller ones from the striped paper, and both of these papers are from the same paper pack from Christmas Hodgepodge. So this is the polka dots and this is the stripes. And I know technically the polar bears won't have the trees, the Christmas green trees like that, but the card called for it, so we are going to take artistic license, and I'm gluing them from the back. So let's see, just needed something there. And then on the other side, I'm going to use one taller and one shorter. And you can still see the moon, you can still see everything, but it just adds another element. And now I can glue my bears sitting right there. Let's finish the inside of the card, and then I think we're going to add some sequins. So for the inside layer, we already have this red and white here, and we are going to add the pocket for the gift card. And this pocket is from our horizontal, this is our horizontal pocket die. So it comes with 2 labels there. When you remove the labels, this is the main shape, and then I die cut the larger label from the same blue snowflakes that we're using, and then the smaller label for the sentiment with the smaller one. So I'm using all 3 dies from this set. When you die cut the pocket die, it gives you indication on where to fold it, but I like using the scoring board and kind of reinforcing those folds. It really depends on what kind of paper you're using, but I think it just really helps. And we can fold this all 3 sides and then add the score tape. And we're going to position the pocket right where our score lines are. It goes right on top of the score lines. So you can do the same trick with the pulling the tape partially or backing up the tape partially, just to line up your pocket. And then we can put it down, line it up, and remove the backing of the tape. And here you don't even have to put the gift card to hold the space, because of the flaps it gives you the opening. And this can be used for the gift card, it can be used for the letter if you're writing a letter, like the year in review kind of thing, or if you want to put photos in here. So it's just kind of nice, really nice to have a pocket inside of the card. And then my larger label, I'm going to go ahead, you can pull it to the side, so this kind of adds more interest to one side or to the other side, or you can glue it in the center. And then on the smaller piece right here, I just want to show you that some of the sentiments from the same stamp set from Silent Night, they will fit into your smaller layer here, and you can stamp it, just stamp it on the white piece of cardstock first, and then you can line it up so it's nice and even and straight. So you can use So Very Nice, you can use Send in Winter Hugs, or you can use sentiments from some other stamp sets. So I'm not going to do it just yet, I'm just going to do it later when I decide which sentiment I want to use. So I'm just going to put this layer inside of my pocket, very handy. And also the second Christmas tree of this, I'm going to glue it behind the white layer, so I can already glue this on. On the back, you can use one of your white die cuts. I probably wouldn't use this too big, but the one that we cut out from our window, we can use this here if you want to do to and from kind of thing, or designed by, probably on the card better. And if you want to use one of this, I think this is kind of cute, like that. And then let's see, maybe we can glue another white one on the top right here. Okay, so sequins. I have some white ones here that I think would work. And it has some stars too, how fun. The sequins really brighten this up, nice and festive now. And now looking at it, I decided it needed something inside of the cave too. So, and with our last one of the leftovers, when we were die cutting our layers, I'm going to put it on the bottom right here, just so it's showing a little bit inside of our cave. So now our card is finished, and it's actually finished. It's finished in the front. We have our step diorama here with all these different layers and all different dimensions, and our little bear sleeping here by the cave, and then his friends are sitting there on the hill, and it's a silent night with the moon. And then when we open it, we have our pocket here, and then it's finished on the back as well. I wanted to show you, actually share with you the same card, the same idea that I made this card in April of this year, and this was for our card making and coloring event, virtual workshop. And I designed this card. You can see this was the first one I designed of this type, and I used the under the sea die here and with the turtles, and these turtles are from the Totally Awesome clear stamp set. And as you can see, this is the underwater scene that we have in this card. So I really liked how this card turned out, and I just couldn't wait to make another one of this, but Christmas winter version. So this card opens like that, the same way, and then we had it finished on the back. So just wanted to give you an idea that you can use the same card design and make it for different occasions, for these different themes. But this is all for me for today. Just want to quickly remind you that we have the 3 $50 gift certificates to give away. So please comment on the videos. If you missed the videos from day 1, 2, and 3, the link to those is in the video description. And remember that we have a 20% off sale going on right now during the event. It's 20% off on all of our products in our online store at lalalandcrafts.com. Your promo code, your coupon code is Advent2022. And as I mentioned yesterday in my video, if you are shopping during the event and you want us to hold all of your orders and ship them at once, just leave a note when you are going through the checkout, and then we'll hold all of your orders and we'll ship them together, and I'll adjust your shipping charges. But this is all for me for today, and I can't wait to see you back tomorrow for our day 5. Bye for now. Much love.